sanctuary if you're ready tonight. I know that it's all so heavy. Won't you let me inside? 'Cause I could be your sanctuary.
What's up guys, hope everyone is doing well. In today's video I'm going to be going over my updates as a macro projection for XRP and for Theta, but nonetheless to go ahead and get it started here. The first thing here, the Fibonacci tracing I've been using for the previous videos I've been updating in regards to the context of this video, taken from the top of the previous bull market to the low prior to that, going back to March 2020, basically for the entire cryptocurrency market. This one has deviated the most from every other coin I've gone over so far. For the most part, everything is basically bottoming out around the 5.541 to the 0.618, so the upper portion of the golden pocket zone that I used. XRP, as you can see, clearly bottomed out, not even within it. It's now built back up into it, and right now, just recently got a bounce along the 0.457 at the bottom of this golden pocket. As a general statement, a consensus for XRP rather, as I've been saying for quite some time, it didn't even make a new all-time high going back to its most recent one compared to 2017, 2018. It seems to be losing bullish steam. This also could be due to the whole SEC drama that has surrounded this coin for quite a long time at this point. But outside of that, for the descending channel, we can see on here, clearly see our resistance up here. Let's say for whatever reason, which I haven't been entertaining the downsides for the coins that I've updated previously to this. But anyways, I'm going to start doing it now from this point onward for the other coins I go over. If we drop down, we will just likely head towards this red range. If we lose the red range, then it is a terribly, terribly, terrible, brutal fall that XRP would end up going through. That range lines up, as you can see down here to the right, 11 cents to 20 cents approximately. If we end up losing the previous low, basically approximately 31 cents. The upcoming all-time high, if we continue to go up, according to the way that I view the market, the whole phase cycle theory for Bitcoin. If you're new to the content, or if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, first two cards at the beginning of this video will have me end up going over my phase cycle theory, my macro theory for Bitcoin, which factors into the movement of every other altcoin, because I'm sure most of you are already aware. Everything essentially follows Bitcoin. That's why all the charts look the same, and why you'll see so many people so often asking, why do the charts look the same? It's because Bitcoin is basically dominating the market, and everything essentially flows along with it. But the specific high is basically just around approximately $5. In terms of some sort of harmonic price pattern, we can see, or at least whenever I was looking at this chart last night when I was doing this, I saw kind of just a nice triangle formation as I just brought it over with that black highlight. We then have a macro M. We take the price target from the bottom to the top, so the apex. This also is just what lines up with basically $4.50 to $5 approximately. I didn't actually check to see where this lines up, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm rather curious just to see where specifically, to see if this wherever this yellow highlight that I have, where it specifically lines up. If it lines up along the 382, it's basically a golden ratio measurement, and it's basically approximately along the 382. So I mean, so what I'm getting at is basically the length from the beginning to where this goes up to the apex is basically a golden ratio measurement in terms of that it lines along the 382. The 382 is the inverse, or if you think about it as two sides of the coin, the obverse of the 0.618. 0.618 plus 0.382 equals 1. Clear relationship there, mathematically speaking, in terms of that. But each of these, again, these pink dots are basically, as you can see, each of these three line up with the most highly oversold RSI points throughout its history. Going all the way back to November of 2015, you can see clearly pointed out here down here on this RSI. You can see we've been building up, we're putting up towards basically the midpoint, the median, in which the RSI needs to build up to, and then eventually break above to then carry on out further bullish movement, which you could see is what happened right here. and what happened right here. So basically we just want to see throughout this upcoming bull market, RSI stay up within that area as it has in the past. Here, if we take a look at the MACD, we got the bullish cross going back to September of last year, which is shortly after we started to begin this build-up period. We can see that we got one back in April 2019, and then the final one back in April 2020, so about a year apart. Obviously, this first one didn't really mean anything, and it continued to go down. The second one was really what solidified that. But for the most part, the main thing to look out for here is whenever both of these, so this turquoise and the pink lines, both finally flip the 0 point, so this yellow dashed line, and they continue to move above that. You can basically see that going to right here in this area, and then at some point within the coming months, we'll likely see that again in order to line up with the momentum fully flipping, converging towards the 0 point, and then flipping it into actual bullish behavior. But unless we have gotten a bullish cross, that's also good to see as well. Here for the volume indicator, we can see that we came down for a bear market right here in this period. Most recently, similar to how if we go back to 2018, 2017, came down, converged back towards 0, consolidated there, obviously for a long period of time, about a year and a half to 2 years almost. Now we're doing that same thing. We're just converging around 0, I believe, according to the overall market projections I have. There's a Bitcoin and everything else. It's going to be a rather quick burst. We'll see in the coming about month to 3 months at the longest, until we finally see the most major move in the upcoming bull market. But until we finally see a massive move here on that, in terms of the volume, there's nothing really too big to expect. It is good that you can clearly see we're coming down. We just recently bottomed on the 0 point. So as long as we stay above this, for the most part, don't get significantly entrenched back below it, that is going to be good to see. The 10 frames for both of these are going to be basically around just first half of next year sometime is when these will top out. The price ranges, again, like I said in the previous video, are what really to focus on rather than the time. Whenever it hits the price, depending upon, doesn't really matter what the time is, but to look out for what price is the important thing. So the exact same analysis here for Theta. We have our exact same Fibonacci tracement top to bottom of the previous bull market. Again, we're right in the consolidation range of the golden pocket. As soon as we hit the first bottom of our bottom range, going back around May of last year, we've just been trading sideways. We can see that we are coming up to the resistance going all the way back to April 2021. Very long-term resistance. Not very, but just, obviously a long-term resistance. We are basically right in between the range that it creates if you take it from the candles to the wicks. So breaking above basically 95 cents with strength will be good to see here. And if we lose this, going back to the previous rejections, we could come down as low to around basically, let's just say 14 to 30 cents. Up back here lines up with obviously some very clear areas of possible support going back to the consolidation from 2018 to 2020. Price target for this specifically lines up with this basically around $320 towards the bottom half of the golden pocket. Let's just say if lower, then that pushes around $40 to around $88. XRP, again, I don't even really see it hitting. Just to go back to this real quick, I don't really see it hitting the golden pocket. I mean, it could. And actually, before I go back to Theta to finish off that analysis, let's say that this whole SEC situation has basically bottlenecked the progression price-wise of XRP, and because of this bottlenecking, basically, the next bullish relief for XRP is going to be just absolutely gargantuan because of that bottlenecking. So, I mean, we could possibly push up to, maybe $7 to $11, or possibly way, way higher than that. I know there's a lot of people that think this coin's going to be really big because of its implications, its utilization cases, etc. But I mean, currently going up to $5 is only a 1,400% move. Going up to $12 is only 3,800%. So I mean, that's really small compared to a lot of other altcoins in the market. So here for Theta once more, like I said, 95 cents is important to look out for. And then also basically approximately $1.60 lines up with this other resistance right here, this green range. So basically $1.60 to $2 important to look out for, breaking above that, finding support. not necessarily on it, but just support above it, and they continue to go higher. Obviously, that range also generally lines up with the 200 estimated moving average and the 50 estimated moving average, which are right here, basically on top of the 0.618 of the fib retracement. Again, it's pink dots, highly oversold vector candles are printed on the price chart, lines up with the oversold territory of the RSI. See, we're still under the median. We need to break above it like we did back here previously to get further confirmation validation here. We got a MACD flip going all the way back to September, similar to XY or XRP. Obviously, you can see we clearly still went downwards. You could kind of look at that as some form of just a bullish deviation if you would want to. Right now, you can see we are just now really getting to the 0 point. So again, like I mentioned for XRP, once we get both of these lines, once we get the blue above, that'll act as a further strengthening. Once we get both of them above, that will then kind of act as, again, even more just a stronger confirmation of upcoming bullish relief. And then essentially the same idea here for the volume-based indicator as well. Most of these analyses that I've been going over recently for these macro updates, it's all essentially the same thing. Like I said in the previous video, using the same indicators, they all pretty much look nearly identical. Not precisely identical, but approximately identical. We clearly see they're all basically kind of doing the same thing in the grand scheme of things, which again goes back to Bitcoin and how it kind of just flows everything along with it. But here for the volume-based indicator, you could see we've basically been getting a bullish divergence going all the way back to June, July of 2021. Shortly after the bear market began, price was going down. Volume-based indicator has been moving upwards, converging towards zero ever since. You could say, like I've been drawing in the recent ones, we're kind of basically getting this bottlenecking of the volume build up over time. We're tightening up, converging to zero. Eventually, we're going to then release all of this volume that's been building up, which would then lead into the next overall bull market for Theta, other cryptocurrencies alike, etc. Let's say the golden pocket in general, though, lines up specifically from 275 to 727. The lower range I've been typically going over recently is $40 to $88 for Theta. This specific one that I've painted out on here, though, is just what lines up with the previous bull market. Because just to quickly say, just to reiterate once more, I believe things market-wide, everything is going to be similar to how everything behaved after March 2020, leading into basically the around April, May of 2021, when Bitcoin hit about $64,000 approximately. But that wraps up everything that I wanted to go over. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Hopefully you're able to take something away in an educational sense. Once more, this is not financial advice. Don't just outright listen to me. Obviously, you know, you're coming to this video to gather information, but don't just listen to me wholly. Gather bunches of different information and compare everything and then come to a conclusion based on your own research and compiling multiple different sources. Outside of that, everything being said, I hope you all have a blessed day.
Ooh, I regret now, won't I see you forever start to